A strong message is being sent this Memorial Day weekend. It's a message of honor and of remembrance.
The event is known as Carry the Load. Now, in a moment, we'll talk with a Carry the Load co-founder. In studio with us tonight, he's retired Navy SEAL Lieutenant Clinton Bruce. But first, we're going to catch up with a relay that started at West Point in New York and will end in Dallas. It's in East Texas tonight, and Fox 4's James Rose has more from Greenville.
The whole point of this 1,700-mile walk is to remind Americans of the true meaning of Memorial Day. And perhaps America's most decorated combat soldier, Audie Murphy, summed it up best. He said the true heroes, the real heroes, are the boys who fought and died and will never come home.
We wanted to walk from New York to Dallas for Memorial Day. The reason we chose walking is because every surviving family across the country that's lost someone in service to the country, they have to get up every single day and put one foot in front of the other.
Coleman Ruiz has been on the journey across America since May 1st. Hundreds of strangers have joined in along the way, like 89-year-old World War II veteran and Omaha Beach survivor Jake Naramore.
It reminds us of all of the good things that the United States stands for.
Carry the Load's mission is to restore the reverence and meaning back to Memorial Day. Those walking across the stretch of North Texas range in age from 4 to 89 years old.
We're all in this together, and that's a good message this time of year.
It is great to see this the general public appreciate the vets and understand what they've gone through. So I think it's just a difference in our country and the way it is where they're coming together.
The town of Mount Vernon has a warm welcome and reception planned, complete with music and barbecue.
You may not know them and they may not know you, but you're taking a little bit of time to recognize that the 3-day weekend that you get wasn't for free.
This was a powerfully emotional experience to see so many strangers coming together for this cause. And the good news is anyone and everyone that wants to participate can do so in Dallas because they will rally there, and they're expecting 2,000 to 4,000 people Sunday afternoon. Heather?
All right, James, we are going to tell you how to take part in just a minute, but I want to introduce to you Clint Bruce. He's a former Navy SEAL, also co-founder of Carry the Load. We appreciate you being here with us tonight.
Bet. Glad to be here.
All right, Clint was watching the story with us just now, and I was listening to you and looking at you, and you're looking at the monitor just going, look at that, look at all those people, look at the flags. It's incredible.
It is. It's humbling. And, you know, when you look at the genesis of Carry the Load, and then it started because a lot of us were frustrated because we just felt like Big America was forgetting some of our friends, and what we've learned over the last 2 years is nothing could be further from the truth. Big America is completely aware of the sacrifice and has just been looking for a way to show that. And, you know, I think Mount Vernon's a great example of that.
Well, it's really wonderful. You see the children, you know, on Daddy's shoulders,
Right.
you know, the little 4-year-old.
Right.
You know, you mentioned Big America, you know, during this newscast, the past week, we've seen it, all the commercials, all the newspaper ads for the big sales that are taking place this weekend. Memorial Day, come on down, you know, get your bargains. You offended by that at all?
You know, if it's appropriately subordinate to Memorial Day and what the holiday is, then I'm not offended by it. But when it begins to trump what that weekend is about, then yeah, it does begin to offend some of us. And that, you know, a mattress sale or a sale would take priority over taking a moment to honor the guys who are not going to have that weekend ever again, and to let their families know that, hey, we remember your daddy. Hey, we remember your son, your husband. If it's not done appropriately subordinate to that, then yeah, it is offensive.
Well, and I know that a lot of this for you, really the whole thing is you lost a lot of friends in your time serving our country, which we're so appreciative of you doing, and all the men and women like you who've protected our country and fought for our freedom. But this is tough. I mean, this is personal for you.
You know, it is, and I think that's one of the reasons we started Carry the Load, is because there's something purifying about just putting on weight and suffering a little bit and thinking about guys that didn't make it back. And you know, these last few weeks to be able to walk Arlington National Cemetery with the widow of one of my friends and to carry his kids on my shoulders through Arlington National Cemetery, and on Wednesday to be able to walk through Hot Springs with Kelly Brown and Nathan Adams' bride and son. You know, it's healing in a way to be able to do that, to be able to walk 8 miles with a guy you knew's son and say, hey, let me tell you about your daddy. It's pretty powerful stuff.
And I imagine pretty tough, too, because you're a tough guy, but boy, this is, I know you've shed some tears.
Yeah, it is, and I think you have to, and I think, you know, there needs to be this reconciliation that occurs between those who served and have buried our friends and those who have kind of been guarded by those guys. And I think we also need to look at what, you know, America has done to you know, establish us as a superpower economically, and that's worth guarding. And when we have these moments where Americans, big America, is able to look at little America and go, hey, everything you've done, we've been paying attention, and it means a lot to us. That's a healing thing.
And for you, carry the load. You're putting on a pack.
Yeah.
And you walk, and you're carrying what, 50 to 70
somewhere between
pounds?
50 to 90 pounds, somewhere in there. It'll be closer to the 50 this year.
And so with each step that you take, it's just a remembrance of how hard these people are fighting for us, these men and women.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the average loadout of a Marine or a SEAL when they step outside the wire is between 90 and 120 pounds. And some of these guys weigh 150 pounds, and they're carrying 100 pounds up a mountain. And and that weight, that burden kind of knits you to them, and it reminds you of that guy you used to be, and it reminds you of the weight that you're carrying. It's a metaphor. Hey, our friends aren't going to be able to raise their kids anymore, so we got them. We got their kids, and they would have had ours. And it's just, the weight is such an appropriate way to show that.
Talking about kids, your daughters are going to be there this weekend for you. What is that like for you to come on? Because you're doing the whole thing. You're doing the 20 hours. What is it like to, you can finish up that and see your kids waiting?
Well, last year it was sweet, to come across that pedestrian bridge at White Rock Lake, and as I came over the rise, and I'd been going for a long time, and see my two daughters running up the bridge to me, it was pretty powerful, and it was humbling too to know that somewhere else there's Savannah Brown doesn't get to do that with Adam, and
Daddies aren't coming home.
And so it's powerful. You're grateful, you're sad, all at once. It's hard. It's a hard emotion to describe.
Do you think your daughters understand that?
Yeah, my daughters do. We've not tried to hide the horrible aspects of war from them. They know that sometimes we get phone calls and guys they've heard Daddy talk about aren't coming back, and we've been blessed to not have that happen to some as others, especially if the girls have gotten older. But they know it doesn't do any good to pretend it's not happening. So how do other parents share that? Like, how do I share that with my daughters? Because we go into the stores and we see the red, white, and blue plates and decorations and things for this weekend. I mean, I try to talk to them age appropriately, but it's difficult. One of the things we've always said is, there's men and women that are willing to go forward because they think that this life and you are worth it. And sometimes they don't get to come home. And what we need you to do is just show that you're worth it. For the time that you have, say, hey, I didn't know you, but I miss you. And the fact that you thought I was worth it means a lot to me. So I'm not going to waste these days that I have. So we try to use it as fuel to kind of help the people we know go, hey, this guy thought you were worth it, so live each day like you are. That's an important message. Listen, we truly appreciate all that you have done. We also want to let folks know that you can get involved with Carry the Load. I wish you the best of luck. I know it's going to be a wonderful weekend, and thank you for all you do. So, folks, if you want to get involved, here's how you can do it. Carry the Load is Sunday and Monday. It's at Reverchon Park in Dallas. You can register on site. You don't have to do it beforehand. Just show up, shake a few hands, take part. We have all the details on our website, myfoxdfw.com. Just click on links. Clint, thank you. You bet. Thank you.